Hello, my name is Natalia Álvaro González and I'm going to show you how I'm going to work with my group of 4th year of secondary school students. My activities belong to the first didactic unit, which is about regular physical activity and healthy habits in order to improve life quality. The main aim of my activities is to introduce to my students the main terms connected to this unit. These first activities are very important in order to allow students to follow the classes and understand the texts given. I'm going to start speaking about my first activity, which is brainstorm and tutti frutti activity. We start the brainstorm asking our students to say all the words they know connected to physical activity and health, while the teacher writes them down in the whiteboard. In order to organize our students' participation, I am going to follow alphabetical name order. Once students have finished saying their words, the brainstorm is over and we start organizing the Tutti Frutti game. I am going to give students a list of words I have personally made, and they will have to compare and complete my list with their own list with the words in the whiteboard. Then they will have to draw a table. As you can see here, the first column is the term, the second one synonym, the third one description in your own words, and the fourth example. Once students have drawn their tables, we can start playing the Tutti Frutti game. I'm going to say a word, and they will have 2 minutes to discuss and complete all the gaps. Students are going to work in small groups of 4, and they will receive a dictionary and a tablet with Wi-Fi. I'm going to say 5 words, and after that we're going to score. Each group will have a leader who has to read up their work, and I'm going to score them. I'm going to give 1 point if the synonym is correct, and I'm going to give 2 points if the explanation and the example are all right. Now I'm going to speak about my second activity, which is Dixit. This game consists of trying to guess the meaning of a certain number of words by following hints, pictures, or mimics. We will need first the vocabulary cards. As you can see here, obesity, aerobic activity, anxiety, disease, and so on. We will also need the vocabulary with hint cards. Obesity, disease, aerobic activity, and finally we will need the pictures cards. Disease, obesity, anxiety. Students are going to play in pairs. Student A is going to receive the vocabulary cards, while student B is going to receive the vocabulary with hint card first, the pictures later, and finally they will have to represent the word by mimic. Student A starts reading the first hint, and student B tries to guess. If he or she guesses correctly, they continue playing, but if he or she fails, the next pair starts playing. This round finishes when the first pair guesses all the meanings. In the second round, the vocabulary with hint cards are going to be replaced by the picture cards. So student A will have to show a picture to his or her mate, and student B will try to guess again. The dynamic of the game is the same. In the third round, there will be no pictures, and student A will have to represent by mimic their words. Student B will always have to guess. When we finish the 3 rounds, we are going to score. I am going to give 1 point to each card guessed correctly in the first and in the second round, and 2 points to each card guessed correctly in the third round. Now I'm going to speak about the purpose of my activities, the structure of my activities, why I consider my activities are innovative, and the main difficulties I have found while designing them. First of all, I'm going to speak about the purpose. Well, I have to say that the main purpose of my activities is to approach my students to the most relevant terminology of the unit. With the brainstorm activity, I want to see how much my students know about the content we are going to work on during the unit. Besides, I make them play an active role in the class, which is a great way to improve motivation. As we already know, when students are motivated, they learn better. And motivation is, in fact, especially important in clear lessons. In the Tutti Frutti game, my purpose is to make students apply the vocabulary they have just acquired. In my second activity, in the Dixit game, I focus on the social aspect of learning. Students learn better when they receive feedback, and one of the most effective ones is the peer feedback. That's why they are going to play in pairs. I have also taken into account while designing my activities that students not only learn by reading or listening, but they only learn by pictures or movement. In my subject, which is physical education, movement is one of the most important elements. So I want my students to learn vocabulary through movement. That's why I have designed the Dixit game, in which the third round is all by mimics. As far as structure is concerned, my structure is very simple, because I want my students to start playing as soon as possible and to make my classes as dynamic as possible. In the brainstorm and Tutti Frutti game, the brainstorm is the warming up activity, and the Tutti Frutti is divided into 3 parts. The first one is the explanation, the rules explanation and the drawing of the table. The second one is the game itself. They have to play the game itself. And the third and the final part is the reading up and the scoring. During the brainstorm, students are going to play individually, but during the Tutti Frutti game, they are going to play in small groups of 4. The Dixit game structure could seem complex, but actually it's very easy. Once students understand the dynamic, they have to repeat it 3 times. They're going to play in pairs in order to enhance social abilities. Speaking about the difficulties I have found while designing these activities, well, I have found 2 main difficulties. The first one was making the Dixit card, because some terms are very difficult to clearly represent with a picture. And the second difficulty I have found was in the organization of my students, because I want my class to be very dynamic and participative. So I had to think about activities in which all students could be playing and participating at the same time. I needed to find out activities in which all students could play an active role. Well, finally, I decided to make 2 games, because I think in games students are very motivated and they want to play, so they have to interact and they have to play an active role. Well, finally, I think that my activities, I strongly believe my activities are innovative, because normally when we want to teach vocabulary to our students, we think about activities such as filling the gaps or read a text and look words up in the dictionary. But in my activities, by making them play, we're promoting an active participation of students in class, and we're encouraging them to think about and understand the meaning of the words. I believe deep in my mind that students are really feeling the new words' meaning. I hope you have enjoyed with my activities, and thank you very much. Bye bye.